everybody. Welcome to Womenlines.com. Yes, we are having Entrepreneur of the Week show today, and we are having a special leader with us from Slovenia. She is an amazing achiever, friends. Sometimes I am amazed myself that how women can achieve so much. And there is so much to learn from such achievers. So, yes, gear up to learn amazing insights about leadership from Tanja Bagar. She is the CEO and chairman of the Expert Council of the International Institute for Cannabinoids. She's a deputy director in the company that operates in the field of research, development, and trade, and also the head of research and development in an environmental company. She is active in the academic sphere. She lectures microbiology and topics at the faculty alma mater Europea and cooperates scientifically with the Austrian College of Health and Development. She's a member of Pomorce Academy of Arts and Science, Slovenian Biochemical Society, the Slovenian Association of Psychologists, and is one of the founders of the Society for the Preservation and Protection of the Environment. Tanja Bagar was awarded a reward for talented students during her graduate studies of microbiology at the Biotechnical Faculty in Ljubljana, and her bachelor thesis received the Perseverance Prize. She continued postgraduate studies at the Faculty of Medicine in Ljubljana and received a PhD in field of biomedical sciences. As a young researcher, she was awarded the Cricket Award for Special Achievements in the field of research for the successful completion of the doctoral thesis, the Municipality Golden Plaque. And she also completed the professional exam at the Ministry of Health. Amazing profile. Welcome, Dr. Tanja Bagar in Womenlines Show.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be able to be here and to talk to you.
So much to learn from you, Dr. Tanja. Please, let's start. Please share about yourself. What makes uniquely you?
Oh, that's a very difficult question to answer. So for me, my path started simply by following what was the most intriguing field for me. So since the primary school, I was most fascinated about biology, and especially about the invisible things in biology, like, the cells, the microorganisms, and so forth. I still remember that when the teacher, I think maybe 5th or 4th grade, explained basically how the cell functions, I felt I was in love, Just to imagine that we're made of millions of these tiny cells that have a complex structure was very fascinating for me, and I just had to know how they work.
Amazing.
And this is how this is why I decided to study microbiology. This is why I decided later to do biomedicine. So I think that this is how it all starts with, something that sparks a very strong interest, something that lights the passion, something that you just have to know, and then you just follow that. So this is how it was for me.
Your face excitement, your expression speak itself, how much you are in love with your field, Dr. Tanja. You are a professor, you are a CEO, you are the author of a book on cannabinoids published in several languages, active in 2 research groups, bovine therapist. My next question is, how you have achieved all, and which is your favorite role?
Yeah, so it kind of, it wasn't that I did it all at once, so it's all kind of evolved like a natural path. So I was active in many fields of microbiology, from clinical microbiology to biotechnology to later ecology. And my interest was always kind of the way I explained that the cells are such a fascinating subject for me, especially the way they communicate. And I became very fascinated with cannabinoids because they function as basically signaling molecules in our bodies, helping our cells to communicate. So I kind of became fascinated with that field. And because there wasn't much known in Slovenia at that point, we just decided to form an institute to study this, to educate on this. So this is how I became a CEO and co-founder. Yes, so research, and basically I consider myself a lab rat. I'm most
Yeah.
happy when I'm in the lab doing my
Wow.
experiments. So this is how I got involved in research groups. um, I became an author actually not because I always wanted to be one, but because I was invited by a
Okay.
Austrian publishing house to write on cannabinoids. And I was very hesitant to do it because I've never written a book. And I was like, oh my God, how do you even write a book? But then they were very convincing and said, well, we have heard your talks on cannabinoids. I think you have to do this. And I was like, okay, then let's do it. And so,
Fantastic.
yeah, so this is how it kind of all involved step by step.
I think
I
that,
don't really
yeah.
have a favorite role of them. Um, there is something unique that kind of inspires me in each of these things. So this is why I'm also doing part of so many things, because working in a lab and trying to discover and research something holds tremendous excitement and innovation for me. Having the opportunity to speak to students, to audiences, educate them, talk to patients is also highly rewarding. So each of these holds something that, yeah, kind of lifts my spirits. So this is why I'm doing
Amazing.
all of them.
Amazing. I love that twinkle in your eyes, Dr. Tanya. The way you are saying you love to understand how the cells communicate with each other in the body, and the
Yeah.
way you are sharing that how much you enjoy sharing your knowledge and that excitement. This reflects that you are an inspiration to all women across the globe.
Thank
So,
you very much.
behind the show, my intention is we get to know that secret behind the leadership. What is that secret behind your leadership? You have achieved amazingly and you are a leader in your field. Can you share a few steps in that ladder which you have taken and which has helped to reach you here? This can really help other women who will listen to you.
Yeah. So I have never thought about it maybe in terms of steps, but now that you've asked me this, I think that the first and foremost step is really becoming very clear with yourself what it is that you want, what it is that you are passionate about, what is it that you can do that you don't consider work, but really that kind of lifts you up rather than drains you. And yeah, so first step, just really very honestly with yourself figure out what it is that you can imagine doing for the next 100 years. And then next step is, of course, unfortunately, hard work, being prepared to invest the times, being prepared to invest the sleepless nights, to do what is necessary to be done. And then usually things kind of get into their own flow. For me, I had when we started the institute, I had a pretty different view of how this is going to go. But then usually, as in life, things started to evolve and have their own flow. And then just kind of following that. Just for me, it was I first imagined that we're going to have a huge lab that is going to do massive research, and we're going to figure out really novel things about cannabinoids. But
Mhm.
then the first 5 years, there wasn't much of that, but it was more really the need came up for a lot more research. We were educating doctors, nurses, all across Europe, even to Moldavia, even to Israel, and so forth. So when you have a clear vision of what you want to do, we still have to be kind of intuitive enough to see where this journey is taking us and be flexible enough to kind of go with the flow.
Beautiful. I am quite interested whenever you have faced those challenges in your journey. Like you mentioned, it took 5 years. I'm sure there must be so many points when you must have felt disappointment and you must be demotivated. What helped you to move
Definitely.
ahead?
Yeah, I felt many moments of despair when things were not going the way I wanted them, when I was too tired to get up for the 10th night in the row to do what I have to do. Yeah, It's yeah, it's kind of one thing is definitely just remembering why you started this. You know,
Mm.
for me, the pivotal moment in me deciding to do this work that involves cannabinoids is because I have seen children with epilepsy being really successfully treated with this.
Wow.
So yes, with cannabinoids, when conventional medicine completely failed. So for me to just remember that this is the reason why I entered this, this is the reason why I'm doing this, this is why I'm getting up again to do the work in the middle of the night because there's no other time, it really helps me to kind of narrow down and stay focused on what I need to do. And then, yeah, sometimes it's just really comes down to, yeah, kicking yourself in the butt and
Correct.
getting the work done. But really, first and foremost is just, this is why it's important that we're really clear on why we're doing this, you know, because
Beautiful.
then when it gets hard, we can just remember and tune into, yeah, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I have chosen this path.
Amazingly inspirational, Dr. Tanya. Friends, take a note. We have to be consistent. We have to keep reminding ourselves that there is a big why we are doing something. So always remind yourself, don't stop, don't get demotivated, and just keep going. You will definitely achieve your dreams, as Dr. Tanya has done, and she's an inspiration to us. So, Dr. Tanya, what's your vision and mission now? What you want to do further?
Yes, so now we have kind of come in our journey to the point where we actually do have a lab available where we can study. So I am hoping that now the opportunity it will be for me to do the research I have envisioned to do,
Wow.
to study exactly what cannabinoids can do for different symptoms, for different medical conditions. The kind of, my big dream is to kind of try to figure out which cannabinoids and which concentrations function for which medical conditions. We know already a lot for different tumors. We already know a lot for autoimmune diseases. So I'm hoping that we can figure out exactly the composition and exactly the doses that could be used to target very specific conditions in medicine, where usually medical conventional treatment is kind of not sufficient or not effective enough. So this is where I'm hoping that we can do a lot with research. We have also started recently a cannabinoid clinic that
Okay.
is aimed to offer counseling to patients that have complex diagnoses, that already have existing treatment, where we can incorporate cannabinoids into the treatment.
Okay.
I'm also hoping that very soon my English book will be published. So this is what I'm currently most occupied with.
Awesome to know. And I wish you the best, because definitely this is a big dream and you have worked hard to reach here. I'm sure your researches will be helpful to so many who need such solutions. So my last question, Dr. Tanya, please share some message for Womenlines audience.
Yes, so my message to women would be mostly that no matter the fact that we're kind of living in a masculine world, please, women, don't forget your femininity. Stay soft, stay gentle, first and foremost with ourselves. There is no need that we kind of go in this, you know, masculine conquer all way. This I have found at least to be very detrimental to ourselves for mostly. So yes, just nurture our bodies, get in touch with ourselves, what we want, how we need to be fed, how we need to be rested, how we need to, yeah, be with ourselves to be able to bring all the gifts we have to the world. It's
Wow.
I think that the greatest thing that women can give to this world, regardless of all of our profession, is actually our presence. When we are full, when we are well, the gifts that we can bring to the world are immense. And
Amazing.
I
Amazing
think that
share. Amazing share.
what we owe to ourselves and to the world, that we kind of take the time, take whatever we need, that we are really well, and then we can take care of everything else, including the world.
Such a beautiful share, Dr. Tanya, and so well said and so true. We women have the power of femininity. We should never forget, and we can use it for our excellence. And when certain
Exactly.
women fail to use it, it's really sad. So we have to
Yes,
remind our tribe that we have that power which we can use, and together we can work to make this planet a much better place. Awesome
exactly.
sharing, Dr. Tanya.
It's I think that it's sometimes very hard to be in touch for a lot of us with our femininity, because we were never taught that. Our mothers, usually most of our mothers were, at least here in Europe, were also not very in touch with their femininity and functioning from that place. So we kind of failed to have a role model. So now it's up to us to learn, and then of course possibly teach our daughters to do that.
So well said. We have to pass this knowledge to the younger generation so that they can use it better than we have used. Thank
Yes, so
you.
they don't struggle as much.
I agree. There are so many things we want to pass to our daughters. Certainly. Thank you so much, Tanya, for such a wonderful conversation, for sharing so many insights. And I wish you all the best for your all research work. And thanks for your time. Take care.
Thank you very much for your invitation. It's been an honor and a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.